Oh, yeah. Oops, we're already live. Whoops.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of all ages, it is Aussieverse, and we are back, baby, to celebrate long-time friend, first time individually coming onto Aussieverse. It is the magic of Peter Lane. I am OmniBeau, joined by the Sheriff around these parts and SingleIssue Steve. I don't really care how Sharif and Steve are doing. Peter, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. We already have a first comment from Rick Smith. Hello, chat. Hello, Doodly.
Hello, Rick.
Oh, it's just started raining a lot here in Point Cook. Okay, so Peter, we have known each other for quite a while, mate. I am so thrilled that you are finally on the show. Thank you very much for finally coming down to the Aussieverse world. Ben Sullivan.
Hey, Ben.
Always awesome to see you, brother. So for those that do not know, Peter Lane is the comic book creator of Skye's Cavern library. That's right, baby. We have many, many copies of Skye's Cavern library. It is a fantastic read, and that is enough of me talking. Let's get down to Peter freaking Lane. How are you, dude? Tell us who you are, why you are, what you are, and more importantly, how you are.
I am a human, and I'm not an anthropomorphic Arctic fox, which is what my character is, who lives in a cavern library filled with teleportation books that can take you to anywhere that the title of the book suggests that you might be able to go to, if that makes sense.
I've read these, man, and I really, really enjoyed them. For some reason, I don't think I ever realized, but I'm missing issue 3. I've got 1, 2, and 4.
Luckily, I reprinted that recently.
Oh, sweet. Well, I'm going to have to get that one off you. How many issues is there?
There's 6 issues so far.
6.
Yeah, but it's issues 1 to 5 and issue 7. And there's a reason for that.
All right. Well, before you go into that and explain why that is, we hope that our 4 lifers check out Skye's Cavern Library. These are all the individuals that are paid members to be part of the 4 lifers. What does the 4 lifers get you? That gets you a Instagram live chat that we have lots and lots of joking around and horse stuff going on in there. I don't know why I said horse stuff.
Horse stuff?
Yeah, horse stuff.
Stuff.
And we really, really appreciate every single one of these people that do contribute to Aussieverse. And if you are not a paid member and want to be, join the button. Click the button. Join. God, I'm not on fire. Click the
Come
link.
on, English.
Join it. And if you don't want to be a paid member because, money doesn't grow on trees, the best way to support Aussieverse is by subscribing to the channel, liking us, the videos more. You don't have to like us, like the videos, comment on them and share it as well. And we are also proudly sponsored by Comic Bookaroo. Peter, why is there no number 6?
There will be a number 6, just not yet. The reason for that is there was a Bendy Con at the time that I went to, and issue 7 I knew, because I planned ahead of time with these things, would have Hairbutt the Hippo in it, and I wanted something special for that con coming up. And I just wanted a legendary character to go, hey, look, I've got something cool in this issue. Hairbutt the Hippo.
Fair enough.
This guy right here.
Oh, hang on.
It's a legendary 90s comic.
Oh.
Beau Jardine and Jason Paulus.
Unhygienic.
Unhygienic, I saw that as well.
He guest star. This is the issue that I was talking about. That he guest stars in issue 7.
Right.
and it's available right now.
Where can people get it?
Yeah.
They can get it if they send me a message, or it's a few different places actually. They can also get it if you go to Facebook, the Facebook page for Skye's Cavern Library, Instagram as well. There you go. There's generally some kind of ad on there telling you exactly where you can send the dosh and how I can send it to you and all that kind of jazz. But there are a few different places as well you can get it. Like I've got an eBay store, I've got a Square website, I've got a few different things, but they're all generally on the Facebook page or the Instagram page, like you just showed. I'm always advertising the book there. So.
Okay, well, speaking of that, let's go take a look at the Skye Cavern Library on eBay. Here we go. So 100% positive feedback. That's already a great sign. And I that's right. I also know you are a major He-Man fan as well.
Oh, yeah. I've been known to dabble in He-Man action figures.
Oh, don't you dare downplay that. I know you love He-Man.
Yeah, I got one or two.
I love seeing your posts about your He-Man buys. I
Thanks.
get very, very jealous.
How are you feeling about the upcoming movie, mate? Are you a bit excited for it, or are you sort of reserving yourself a little bit?
Yeah. I'll kind of believe it when it's on the screen, because there's been quite a few years of missteps and been putting on the back burner and all that kind of stuff. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I'm sitting in the theater and watching it, and it's about.
It's going to be very interesting to see Jared Leto as Skeletor.
Yep.
So I reckon he could
should
do
be
a
all
really
right.
good job of it. Yeah, I reckon he will be.
Yeah.
I'm already curious. I'm already. Hang on. I'm already like side questing here.
Speaking of my eBay page. Speaking of my eBay page, now I used to own a comic store in the 90s, and I've got a lot of stock that I'm currently cataloging and will be on this eBay store.
Ooh,
I kind of want these.
they are cool.
What's the middle character? King
Hiss.
Who's
You remember King Hiss?
No.
He was kind of on the end of the 80s vintage line with the Snake Men. He was a leader of the Snake Men.
Oh, right.
Excuse me.
Okay. All right. Now, let's also take a look at your Instagram page. Let's see here.
It's probably the best one to go to.
Boom shakala. So there's your logo. And you've got Simon on your page.
Yeah, he did a little promo for me recently. That was nice.
Oh, did he? Yeah, he's good at that. He's a very good community member, Simon. Which is
he's a bit of a tart. He does promos for everybody.
Let's see, which Aussie comic will I read today?
That's actually from the future issue. Who's that douche? Yeah, that's that one that you just brought up there. Issue 3 is the one on the right, and Rob Lyle did that cover. Excuse me. So that's the new printing of that issue that is available now.
Ah, cool.
Okay.
One on the left is issue 2. That's the new printing of that.
Rob Lyle. I'm not sure.
Definitely tell that's a Spezzy cover.
Yeah.
Oh, Spezzy.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
I'm being facetious. There he is. Look at him. Look at him being all dodgy in the middle there. We miss Spezzy. Yeah, man, but I really dig it. I dig it, as I say. So, look, I do know that, like most Australian creators, this isn't something that just came out of nowhere. I believe this goes back about 24 years.
Yes. Yes. 24? No, longer than that. That's actually 27 years ago.
Yeah.
because it already
It
celebrated
happened-
the 25th.
When you were at school one day and the teacher's like, give us a good idea?
Yeah, I was in a writer's workshop class in around 1994 from memory. So they kind of just put me on the spot and they said, come up with an idea in a few minutes, just anything, and write a short story about it. And so I thought, oh my God, I can't think of anything. So I just started throwing stuff against the wall, just a fox that walks around in a red suit, owns a library that's in a cave, and I'm shooting all these things out, and then I just come up with the story and write this short story, get an A+ for it or whatever, and then I just kind of throw it away. And then a few years later, I bump into this guy called Shane Foley, who's a regular at my comic store that I mentioned before, the one that I had in the 90s. There was a comic store in Bundaberg, probably the mid-90s, if I'm remembering correctly. And Shane Foley was a regular customer there. For those that don't know, Shane Foley does Phantom comics now. He does the art for those.
Nice.
So I met him in there as a regular customer. And he mentioned he was working on an anthology that was about to come out. And he said, oh, you got any ideas? And I was like, well, I was kind of creating a superhero universe at the time, but I didn't have any plots or anything, available at that time. And then I thought, what can I do with this guy? And I found the script to that short story I wrote. And I thought, give this a shot. It's an anthology. So I put that in as an 8-pager with Shane. And the anthology never got published. So I thought, what can I do with this story? And I said to Shane, why don't we expand on it a bit, do another story to fill out a full issue? And we did. And I published an issue in 1998, April 1998. And then we never followed up on that until about 21 years later.
Wow.
And that's it.
Wow.
So how did you pick it back up after 21 years? What's the timeline of that story? It's like,
well, yeah, the huge gap in between. Life just happens. We were planning on doing issue 2, but Shane was very busy being an ambulance driver at the time. So, he never got around to it. Then I ended up moving from Bundaberg where I was situated. And then it just kind of got pushed into the background after a while. Tried doing it, getting other inkers and stuff to finish it. But it just kind of never eventuated. Life got in the way. Other things came along. You know how it works.
We know
So
that.
so that just kind of got pushed to the side while I did other things. But then eventually, 21 years later, I was speaking to Joe from Alternate Worlds, and he mentioned that there was a gentleman called Gary Della that had an imprint called Reverie Publications.
Yep,
I'm
we
like,
know Reverie.
Yeah, and I was like, who are these guys? And he pulled out this big bunch of comics, and I'm like, how have I never seen these before? And so I was kind of flicking through them, and I was kind of impressed. And Joe kind of said, well, Gary's got this thing coming up, and it was like a local comic creator day, and he said, why don't you meet up with him and just have a chat? And I'm like, yeah, cool, all right. And then had a chat with him and decided to. Well, I got in touch with Jason Paulos in between publishing the comic from Hear About the Hippo, and I'll learn to speak one day. Hear About the Hippo and Phantom and all that kind of jazz, and just put the comic together and published it under Reverie, and that's it.
Fair enough. So Reverie are still going strong, aren't they?
Yeah, bunch of titles.
Yeah,
Whole lot of titles.
So if I've never heard of Skye's Cavern Library, which I just want to highlight this awesome cover, because I love a wraparound, and I love, well, I guess technically it's not a wraparound, but you know what I mean. Like it's shiny,
The foil,
at least.
the foil continues.
Foil, yeah. I dig this, man. And so when I put the screen back on you, what I want you to do is, if I've never heard of this comic and I want to get into some indie books, I want to support Australian comics, what is the big pitch? How would you sell this book to me? Why should I care? Why should I buy this book, Peter?
Well, it's about an anthropomorphic Arctic fox who lives in a cavern library filled with teleportation books. And depending on the title of the book is what adventure you go on. So it could be a book about space. It can be a book about Vikings, dragons, knights, cowboys. He can go to any book and go on any adventure that you can think of. And
doesn't that sound like a dream?
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
A real kind of dream. Yeah,
that's awesome.
But also as well, he's got a backstory. He's a mysterious, little foxy dude, and he's got interesting things in his backstory that I haven't even revealed just yet. And on top of that, there's a few dramas going on currently in the current continuity with the books. The older books are starting to deteriorate, and things are coming through into his world. Yeah, it's an all ages rom.
That's cool.
That's right.
And Pete, the character, Skye, I mean, you talked before about being at school and having to match something up quickly and organise a short story. Where did the concept for the character come from? And is he sort of loosely based on something you've seen in the past? Or tell us about Skye a little bit more as the character you created.
Yeah, I think, as you know, every character is kind of based on something that's floating around in the back of your head. I was reading a lot of Cerebus by Dave Sim. You know that one?
Yeah, no, I don't actually.
Yeah, and yeah, that was like a 300-issue miniseries, if you'd like to call it that. And yeah, I was a little inspired by that, especially the art and how it looked, and the stories were great up to a point. And who else? Like, I mean, the aforementioned Hairbutt the Hippo, I used to get that on newsstands back when I was a kid. I'm trying to think who else is kind of influencing the character. There's a character called Chris who's an assistant to Skye, and she's kind of a half elf. I suppose she's kind of inspired a little bit by inspired by old kind of Peter Parker Spider-Man. She's got that kind of vibe going on. She goes to school, hangs out with people who think that she's just role playing because of her pointy ears. They think she's some kind of Lord of the Rings geek or whatever. And I suppose.
What about this guy?
Oh, Twinkle Toes. Yeah, it's the pet of Chris, the aforementioned assistant.
Who is cute as hell. No, he's not. He's terrifying.
He's cute. Well, his name's cute. So Twinkle Toes, he's got a little bit of a backstory I haven't gone into just yet, which will be quite surprising in future issues. But he's a bird-eating spider, basically. That's why he's so big. But he's cute.
Oh God, that's the stuff of nightmares for me.
Well, it is surreal, isn't it?
So, with the publications of each of these titles, is it something that you do through Kickstarter, or is it something that you just do off your own back? How does that go? Because I know these days, 90%, if not more, of independent people are doing it through Kickstarters or backer kits.
Yeah. Eventually, I might go the Kickstarter route with the story that's coming up. He's got a fairly large other Aussie character in it, but that's further down the track. At the moment, I just kind of self-publish it myself and just offer it through various websites. And if people want to message me, I can give them the details as well and how to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, like I said, if they go to the Instagram page or the eBay page or the Facebook page, I generally post all the time on there exactly how you can pick up a copy or 10.
So you've now got 7 issues out there. What's the end game for Skye's Cavern Library? Is this just something that's just going to keep going on and on and on, or is there a definitive end?
I'm kind of taking a kind of lily pad approach. Like the first lily pad I'm jumping to is going to be issue 12. So that's a definite that's going to happen. After that, I'm kind of looking ahead to issue 25, which will be a big double-sized kind of issue when that arrives finally. After that, I kind of don't want to jump too far ahead because I just kind of want to focus on where I'm headed. But I mean, I'd love it if it reached 100 issues. That'd be nice, but I don't want to say it's
Sorry,
going
would you mind repeating what the first lily pad was? How many issues was that?
12 issues. Yeah.
12.
12.
That's his favourite number.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck. I don't know if Howard the Duck's going to be guest starring, but you never know. But you know what? Speaking of guest stars and stuff, the one thing that always tickled my fancy that I loved is how in one of the issues. Let me see here. No, it must be. I thought it was issue 4. No, okay, maybe it's issue 2. Yeah, that's right. He does go into a short box and picks out literally a couple of Australian comics here, which I found to be a little cheeky surprise.
Oh yeah, Torn. Yeah. I wonder if he's going to bump into Torn in a future issue.
Yeah.
Issue 6. Nice.
There you go. There you go. He's got it.
I always have my Aussie ones close at hand.
Nice.
Now, I did notice that there is quite a difference with the art from issue to issue, especially by the time you go from 1 to 4. So what's the go with that? Is that something that you consciously wanted to do, or is that because of connections with the artists and new connections with other artists? Or, how does that go? Why have you made that decision?
It's kind of like almost an anthology approach, where depending on who appears in the issue, say it's Spell Kitty, like in issue 4, I wanted to work with the creator of Spell Kitty, so you got the Spell Kitty vibe. Or if it's Hairbutt the Hippo in issue 7, I wanted Jason Paulos, obviously. But Jason Paulos is kind of like he's the main artist on the series, especially going forward. And like I mentioned, with the anthology approach, like it really kind of comes into play with issue 5, which I've just released, because that one's got a story in the front by Jason Paulos. It's got a story in the middle by Rob Lyle. And it's got a story at the end. Sorry, I'll learn to speak one day. By Neil Blandon.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I was very happy with the way that came together. But, yeah, going forward especially from issue 5 up, you'll generally get a Polo story. You'll get probably a Rob Lyle story and then someone else for the third story. So that's kind of
the
how
Dark Half has asked about Ryan Vella's issue.
Yeah, issue 6, he'll be in there. But there's also there's actually 2 Ryan Vella stories. So the first one will be in issue 6, and the next one, not sure quite where that's going yet. It's a bit like a game of Tetris sometimes, especially when you're doing an anthology format. You got to fit the stories where they fit. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we like Ryan Vella. We've never had him on the show, but I've got a few of his issues of things as well.
I'm working on something. It's a big Skye's Cavern Library project with Ryan, actually. So there is a third one.
Cool.
Yeah, it might involve some kind of a kind of kangaroo type character you might have heard of.
I wonder who you could be referring to. Either way, that sounds like a killer project.
Not quite so.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's why I work here. But we are enjoying it, man. So again, you can step into any book. It takes you away to all sorts of destinations where if just flicking through the first few pages, even if you haven't read it, you can see things like ogres and medieval times and magic and Medusa and elves and bikers and robot wars. And I mean, this is something like I would have to say, like Doctor Who, for example, where it's something that it could just be endless. You know what I mean? You've come up with a brilliant idea that I think is very, very fortunate for yourself, where even though there is a storyline, because of the basic premise of it, it's something that you could just go on and on and on with because of the amount of different worlds that you could
pretty much
create.
like a massive open world, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you can do stuff that's been done to death, like I don't know, go to a Lord of the Rings type place or a medieval or whatever. But then you can also create all sorts of things with this, which I find really fascinating and makes me want to come back and go, okay, where's he going to go to next?
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, it's very open for sure. And that's why I can bring other Australian kind of creations in as well. So, you know, it works out well.
Do some sort of like, this would be, I don't know, I'm sure this would be quite hard, but some sort of multiversal one where you go through all the different Australian creators. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Dark Half has asked, any future creators you want to work with, Pete?
Yeah, you.
I'm not a creator. I'm just a guy that can out for people.
Let's see. Who would I want to work with in Australia?
Even
that's
if it's
a really good one.
Let's expand on that answer then. Even if it's not a realistic answers, like let's say you could be saying, Rob Lyle or other names that are out there, even people that are a big dream for you. If you could have anybody collaborating with this, who would it be as well?
Do you remember Chris Wall?
Chris Wall? No.
WAHL. He was a creator in the 90s.
Okay.
He was really good. Who else? If we're not talking just Australia as well, my big one would be like Art Adams or someone like that, who I almost got a cover from back in the 90s until I kind of, put it to the side for a while because I was actually corresponding with him for a bit. And I got a quote for a cover, but then it never happened. So, yeah. No, but I would want to ask now because I think a cover quote from him would be quite substantial.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think this is Ryan Vella. We need you on Aussieverse as well sometime, mate. All right. So, Pete, you're a pretty fun guy, man. You know, we've hung out a couple of times, and you got quite a voice on you too.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, you got quite a voice on you, man.
Good singer.
What sort of hopes and dreams do you have moving forward with all of this? Because I can see the passion in these pages, and
Thanks.
It really makes me hopeful for yourself.
I really appreciate that, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just true, man. So, what sort of hopes and dreams do you have moving forward for yourself?
Well, when I get to that lily pad of 12 issues that I have planned, I am considering like shopping the idea around to maybe animation, studios and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Potentially getting like a game made or something. Because I plan once I get to issue 12, that's when I'm going to do that kind of stuff and just keep the comic on hiatus for a small amount of time and then pick it up with issue 13 after I've gone around and shopped it around or whatever. So if nothing eventuates from that, I'll just release issue 13, go up to the next lily pad of issue 25, and then give that idea a shot again. And I'll keep giving it a shot until I get somewhere.
Question without notice, Pete. We're just talking about animated. Okay. What accent in your head do you imagine Skye having? And if there was an animated movie, who would play Skye?
Wow.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. Who would I get? Willem Dafoe? No, I don't know. No.
That'd be cool.
Ooh. Have you got any ideas on who you'd like to?
I was going to say, what voice do you hear,
I'm
Steve?
going to be honest.
I hear an English accent.
Yeah. So like Ricky Gervais or something?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. I think that's something you need to think about, Pete.
Yeah.
I think the English accent is a good idea. Yeah.
Hugh Grant, maybe?
Yeah.
Welcome to Skye's Cavern Library. No, that's not
It's a bit of all right, isn't it? Look at all these books here.
Oh,
Colin
no,
Farrell.
don't open that one.
That's bad luck, that one. Don't touch that one. It's not good, mate.
I
Now,
wonder who did the voice of Paddington Bear? Maybe maybe not. I don't know.
oh, yeah.
I'd have to think about that one.
Yeah. I still refuse to watch Paddington 2 because I hear I'm going to cry my heart out. So,
Oh, really?
Apparently, it's the best movie ever made.
It's good. I actually really, really like the third one as well.
Is that the Peru
Paddington
one?
in Peru. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one
Tom
either.
Hardy.
It's good. Highly
I know
recommend.
Sharif wanted to ask about possible collected editions. So, Sharif, what was your question?
With the two lily pads, would we potentially be seeing a 2-volume set?
That's a great question. I have thought hard about this, and my idea to begin with, I'm focusing on single issues for a while, but once I get enough Jason Paulos material, I will probably collect all of that in a single volume, like a hefty volume, and that's probably when I'll be doing a Kickstarter. I would really like to do a hardcover edition of that.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll see.
Well, I know 3 people that will back that on day one.
Cool, nice.
It's me, myself, and I. Oh yeah, me too.
Sweet. But yeah, I think that'll be a really cool release with all the Paulos artwork. Keep it consistent in the one volume,
Yes.
and
There we
the
go.
reason why,
Our brother.
the reason why I'm kind of edging towards a hardcover volume is because you'd go to the Cavern Library. Thanks. You'd go to the Cavern Library and there'd be a lot of hardcover books there. So it's kind of tying into that kind of deal.
Yep.
So that's why I think it would work. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
You'd have to add some kind of a pledge tier where you can jump into the book somehow. And that would be
That's an
like
idea.
That'd be a real trip, wouldn't it? Like, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Some sort of
you could literally offer a trip for several $1,000s.
I was thinking something simpler like a blow up book that you could just walk through or something.
Like those jumping castles, like you jump into it and you bounce around and pretend you're in Wonderland or something.
Yeah. So, all right. So, issue 1. Let me take a look here. Where are the credits here?
That's all Paulos.
Oh, it's all Paul. Okay, cool. I really dig his art. I'm not going to lie. I really do. I think it's really, really cool. And then in issue 2, you've got Shane Foley and cheeky old Rob Lyle. How did you feel about changing the art straight away for that one? I know that you touched on it earlier, but it seems so different looking from book 1 to book 2. And I recognize Spedsy's art straight away.
Yeah. It was kind of after doing issue 1, I didn't want to wait too long to release issue 2. And if you remember, I said I released an issue of Skye's Cavern Library in 1998. I actually took the second half of that issue and basically reprinted it as issue 2, just rewritten, because I looked at the writing from back when I was in 1998 and I'm like, it's a little, so I rewrote the dialogue and re-edited all that kind of stuff, which was kind of fun. And then I got the aforementioned Spedsy to color it and add a few little background touches, all that kind of stuff. And I think he did a great job. Like it's in continuity now, like the current continuity. Yeah, so that's how that came about.
So I'll just take us off live for a moment so I can ask you a private question so you don't have to say it live. But what's it really like working with Spedsy?
He's an awesome dude. He's great.
I also see in issue number 4, story by yourself and Manuel Bao.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was it like working with him?
Guy. Yeah, great. He's a fun guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool. Check out Spell Kitty.
Spell Kitty?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I have that actually. Okay, sweet. I'm pretty sure I do.
It's another all ages comic.
Would you ever get manga style artists for Skye, or just keep it Western?
Well, with the nature of Skye's Cavern Library, because he goes anywhere and can do anything, I would definitely do a manga story at some point. I mean, I've put Neil Blandon in there, and his style is, it's way over the top in a great way. Where is it again? I'll show you. Neil Blandon's art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back to Paulo. So yeah, definitely put a manga one in there if it fits the story.
Sure. I would like to see a little bit of Dave Dye in there one day.
Dave Dye. Let's have a look here. Have I ever used Dave Dye before for a story? Oh, look. I think I have.
That's almost like we rehearsed that.
Yeah.
We really didn't.
It was also a Western, country and Western.
What book's that one?
That one is issue 3. Available now.
Oh, okay, sweet. Hang on.
Whoop.
Oh, well, that's why I don't know. That's the issue I'm missing.
Well, it's just come off the presses as the second printing and available now. Is that better?
Okay, I'm going to have to get that. I'm going to have to hit you up and grab 3 and 5 onwards.
Yeah, cool.
I need to get a couple more too. I've only got 1 and 2. That's all I got. So next time I see you, Pete, I'll go get some off you.
Yeah, nice.
And we have a little custom king in Aussieverse, otherwise known as the Sharif. So we might have to hit him up and custom bind these ourselves and show you what a hardcover can look like.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And do a leather spine.
Ooh.
That would look cool. I could fit right in with that whole library theme. Not just a normal hardcover, but like a leather-looking spine at least. That would look cool. Like an old book.
That's kind of like a what I was thinking about with like a kind of stretch goal for a future Kickstarter. If it reaches a certain point, you add kind of leather or fake leather or whatever. You add like that gold trim that they have on the outer edges of the pages. And you can just kind of add those as you go along.
You mean like gilded edges?
Gilded.
Yeah, that's fine. Gilded edges. Yeah.
Like that. What book's that, Steve?
That is my 2025 Burroughs Diary from Officeworks.
He's got everything within reach.
Nothing special. This is where I write down all our Aussieverse events and shit that are coming up.
That was the
I
most
keep it nice and
anticlimactic answer I've ever heard.
Nice.
It's amazing. It's magical. It's full of dates.
All right, so we've spoken about your book for a little while now. Let's get into a little bit of personal talk, Peter. How old were you when you started getting into comics? How did you get into comics, and what were they?
Yeah, cool. The very first comic I got, I was about 8 years old, and I was in a secondhand bookstore, and there was this little pile of comic books in there. I was like, oh, what's these things? And I picked it up, had a flick through. The ones that caught my eye were an issue of Green Lantern, where he's like a barbarian with a sword on the cover,
Ooh,
which I've got hanging around somewhere. Which
They actually did a toy of that as well, I think.
let me have a quick look.
Do you know what that is, Steve?
No. I
He,
think it came... Sorry, you
he's
go,
got a
Pete.
sword on the cover.
Because there was a toy that was released and he had a double-headed axe, I think. It was like a special toy line for it was almost like a He-Man looking figure.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not sure if the book's related to that or not.
Mm.
It was an old issue of Green Lantern. But yeah, I think it was like might have been from the early 80s, I think, offhand.
Okay.
And I
So
think
maybe
it
part of
had a
something
Brian
like-
Bolland cover.
Ooh.
But it had Green Lantern the Barbarian written on the cover. So it was like a takeoff of that.
Okay.
But anyway, that caught my eye, so I picked that one up. And the other one that caught my eye was Marvel Tales 106, which I remember.
Which one was that?
That's the one that reprinted the first appearance of the Punisher from Amazing Spider-Man 129. Only
What
this
a
one,
choice.
if you remember Amazing Spider-Man 129, it had the yellow background on the cover.
Yep. I
Marvel
know
Tales
exactly
106.
the issue.
Yeah. Marvel Tales 106 had an orange background.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it caught my eye as a kid. I was like, whoa, this is because of the cover's cool, as you know, because you know exactly what it looks like. It's been homaged to death.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But-
Pete, wasn't that, was it?
No, that was several years later. Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking of.
That was
Yeah,
from an
that's
action
from,
figure.
that's from a toy range called the DC Primal Age.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Let
sure
me
if it's
see
that
if I can find a link to the.
What I
cover.
love about the two comics that you said as a little boy is the fact that one was DC and one was Marvel. I like that because it gives you a dip your toes into it. While you check that out, we're going to have a word from our sponsor, Comic Bookaroo. Comic Bookaroo, proud sponsors of Aussieverse for all your comic book needs. Graphic novels, hardcovers, omnibuses, single issues. Don't forget to pre-order every Sunday at Comic Bookaroo. Comic Bookaroo, Australia's #1 online comic book store. Get a free bag and board with every issue bought, and you can also have a build-a-box option. That means that you can pay for your books now, but get them sent later and save on shipping. As far as I'm concerned, best prices around for omnibuses, and if you want to buy any sorts of comics, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, omnibuses, library editions, gallery editions, go to Comic Bookaroo and check them out. Now,
Nice.
so you found these two books as a little boy.
Yep.
Did it blow your mind, or did you just go, oh, yeah, these are okay, and then you slowly dipped your toes into it? How did that make you feel?
They kind of blew my mind, especially Marvel Tales 106, but I did like the Green Lantern issue, which I just found out was Green Lantern Volume 2, issue 164. I'll send you the link to the cover for that one. Actually, I'll send you the Marvel Tales as well, just so you can see that orange background of the cover, because it's really stunning. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Green
You
Lantern
can kind of
and
see why
Marvel.
it caught my eye as a kid. I'm like, whoa, this is amazing, you know?
There's a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
I've never seen that cover.
And as you mentioned, Bo, as you mentioned, I was into He-Man, and I was into He-Man at that age as well. And so seeing Green Lantern with a sword on the cover like that kind of blew my mind as a kid.
Yep.
There you go. Seen your Marvel Tales 106 as well.
Yep.
There it is. So yeah. And as you can kind of see, like the covers, one's green, one's orange. As a kid, I think that kind of had a impact on my brain. I don't know what it was. I just kind of loved it. So I picked up those.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I picked up those 2 issues. And the next one that I got, I was lucky enough to have my parents be working in a place called the Toddle Inn in Launceston, Tasmania at the time. And that was a takeaway store, but it also was a kind of newsagent store as well. So they had those old style comic spinner racks in there.
Yes.
And the first new comic I bought was Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man 95. And it had...
What one was that one? Spectacular Spider-Man 95.
That also had an orange background on the cover. Yeah. I can send you a link if you want.
No, I got it.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Let's take a look here.
But that was very striking too.
Oh, I see. A little bit of what's his name? Silvermane.
Silvermane, yeah. It had Silvermane, Black Cat, just kind of remembering from memory. Cloak, yeah, there we go. Cloak, yeah, it was a nice cover. And it was one of the last appearances of the black alien costume on Spidey at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Silvermane.
So it was really kind of Spider-Man that kind of, trapped me in his web, as it were. And
it's a good web to be in, bro.
Yeah. I loved it.
So when did you start buying them then? Because at 8 years old, I know you got no pocket money then. And even if you did, you're not going down to the comic book store on your own. So how did you get into it? And further from that, where are you now as a comic book fan? What are you reading? Are you still reading?
Well, back then, because I was living in the news agency, or the takeaway mixed news agency with my parents, I'd always wait for that. At the time, they'd shrink wrap them in the big kind of packages that they'd get, and it'd be a mix of magazines and comics and everything in there. And as a little kid, I'd be like, more comics. And, I'd rush to open it and have a look. And I'd just read whatever comics were in there, you know what I mean? Whatever caught my eye. So that's kind of how I collected early on as a kid, just picking up random kind of mainly Spider-Man comics from my parents' store. I went back to that secondhand bookstore and bought a few more for. At the time, they were selling them for like 20 cents, 10 cents. So it was pretty easy for a little lad to pick up those kind of issues. I remember a time I bought like a bargain lot for about $5, and it just had huge piles, mixes of Marvel and DC comics in there. And I was just picking through all of those, and there's a lot of Hulk, a lot of Conan, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, all sorts. It was good.
So if any Marvel or DC character could appear in Skye's Cavern library, who would it be?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, cool. Probably the one that springs to mind first, maybe Doctor Strange, because I think that'd be an interesting interaction. Danny Ketch Ghost Rider would be another interesting one.
Oh, that'd be full on, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I think Constantine would be a good one too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Constantine. Yeah. From the DC side of things. Yeah, that'd be good.
KJB read my mind. Punisher.
Maybe Lobo. Maybe Lobo would be a good one. Imagine the chaos Lobo could get up to in there. Huh?
all the fracking that he's gonna do.
Well, even Green Lantern as well. That'll be interesting because he can make all the different shapes and things with, his ring.
Yeah,
That'll be an
that's
interesting
true.
All the
story.
constructs, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, Lobo, KJP said. He's very passionate about that one, you can see.
Yeah, I loved Lobo, Simon Beasley Lobo comics back in the day. The miniseries.
So what are you reading now? Are you still keeping up with any titles, or are you like, I think a lot of us get to an age where we're like, I don't think comics are really made for us these days. I still love them, don't get me wrong, and I still continuously read them. But yeah, I just think some titles you're like, why do I keep reading this? You're just doing it your whole life.
I was like I was saying with Spider-Man, I was reading that for decades. And I have fallen off a lot with that for the last 5 or 6 years or whatever. Like I've picked up an issue every now and then to have a flick through it, and it's not for me. It just feels like a completely different set of characters now. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, I do.
What I do get, I get a lot of facsimiles of old Marvel 80s stuff. Because I suppose that's the era I love the most. A bit of 90s as well, I like Valiant comics as well. So I'm still getting back issues of those.
Okay.
Yeah. So
they've been making a hard return.
Yeah, through Alien Books. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll be going through a deal with IDW soon as well, due to the Diamond thing that's happening at the moment. Yeah, so that'll be so I do get Valiant comics through my local comic shop, Alternate Worlds.
KJB wants to know if you've ever read 2000 AD back in the day, or even now.
No, I picked up one or two when I was a kid, and I was kind of impressed, but not enough to continue on with it for whatever reason. There's nothing against the comic. I don't know. I was kind of fixated on. I was a bit of a Marvel zombie as a kid. You know what I mean? I was getting Spider-Man. I was getting Hulk. I was getting Conan the Barbarian. I was getting Ghost Rider. I was kind of stuck in that world.
Yeah. It's funny with 2000 AD because I've had this conversation with KJB, and it was in that batch around the 9 years old when I started reading 2000 AD. And I remember really enjoying it and really getting into it. But I don't know what happened. It's a part of my memory that I'm very fuzzy on, where I just never continued it. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't remember making a conscious decision saying, I don't want to read this anymore, or I'm not going to. I think maybe I just got so sucked into the Death of Superman era and the Spider-Man era that I was into. But I just, continued with those. And I don't think 2000 AD was as available as Marvel and DC was as well.
It wasn't. Not here, it wasn't, mate. No, it was hard to get. I used to read a bit of it too. I got into Dread basically because of Anthrax, not the disease, the band. When off the album Among the Living, they did a song called I Am the Law, which is all about Judge Dredd, which is freaking great album, by the way. And we've got introductions to Judge Fear, Judge Death, Judge Fire, Judge Mortis. All the dark judges were absolutely awesome. So that was a great little story arc of that. But 2000 AD was pretty hit and miss in a lot of our news agents. It was hard to find.
Yeah. I did get a few issues back in the 80s, because I was living in the kind of news agency takeaway store that I was living in. We did get a few of those then on the newsprint, the old newsprint paper. But later on it was very sporadic. The appearances on the newsstands for that one.
Yeah, I wish they made big, thick omnibuses of them. I didn't realise that one of our giveaways that we did a little while ago, I gave away the 2000 AD Judge Dredd. I can't remember what they called them, the case files, I think it was, volume 1. Yeah, and I didn't realise that that's the way to collect them, because I saw a room tour of somebody and they had like all the Judge Dredd case files, and I just went, oh man, I didn't realize it continued and went on and for that long, and I kind of wish I kept it, to be honest.
Was that the was that in the format of like the weekly news agency hardcover series?
No, it was a soft cover, but it was thick. It was thick, yeah. But yeah, I might have to get those again, I reckon, one day, because I'd love to read it.
Yeah, cool. I mean, they are nice. They've got really nice artwork in them. Yeah, I do
that's
get
enough
it.
about that. This is about you. So what else are you into? We know that you are into comics. You're into making comics and creating comics. We know you're into He-Man. I know you're into a bit of your rock music because I've heard you sing it and it's freaking amazing. And I've got a video of it that I really wish I prepared earlier and uploaded into this chat. I only thought about it now. That would have been amazing. If you guys can carry the chat for a little bit, I will do that with Peter's permission. But yeah, what else are you into? And it doesn't have to be anything nerdy. You know, it can be completely anything else. We want to get to know you a little bit more, Peter. So what is it else that you are into?
Okay. I think Steve might be able to relate to this a little bit. I still do listen to them occasionally. Like, I got heavily, no pun intended, into a lot of heavy bands like Morbid Angel,
good Aussie band,
Deicide. I got into a lot of black metal, Norwegian black metal back in the day when I was a teen.
Jeez, you went
like
heavy, mate.
Mayhem, that kind of deal. Yeah. So I was into that for a while. But I'm also onto the other side of things. Like, I love Prince. You know, I liked, Wham back in the day, George Michael. So I'm a little sporadic with my musical tastes there.
I think diverse. Go with diverse.
Yeah, diverse.
I listens to Katy Perry.
Oh, really?
Not my favorite.
No, I certainly. Hey, look, my musical tastes, like I have not been ashamed to admit that I love my metal. Obviously, look at me, but I love musicals and I love some opera and I love some Western. I love a lot of different stuff, man. But Kate Perry, I mean, yeah, I do love a bit of a firework, or what is it, whatever the crap it is. But generally, no. And now that she's gone to space for 10 minutes, I've lost a lot of respect for her. So no.
Did you see who they sent up? It was just like the who's who of nobody.
What was that?
Let's send all these vapid morons up into space for 10 minutes. And she comes down.
Yeah.
She went up for 10 minutes, came back down and kissed the Earth. What about those poor Russian blokes who were stuck in the satellite for 8 or 9 months, or whatever it was? They
Real
must be
astronauts.
thinking, what an absolute wanker that woman is.
Peter?
Yes?
I'm going to need to apologise in advance.
Uh-oh.
Because I thought this was the Rebel Yell, but I briefly just heard the music in the background. And I think this might be something else that I'm about to show.
This is like an episode of This Is Your Life. I'm not quite
it's just loading now. I don't know how appropriate or inappropriate it's going to be, but we're going to find out. And I just realized we might get stung with the music. Hang on. Let's just.
Yeah, what would you like instead of bringing that up? I don't mention this much, but I'll mention it for you guys and whoever's listening. I used to be in a band.
Was it a band like?
No. That's me going to funky town.
Oh God. Okay, no, I'm gonna have to try that one again. I don't know what that was.
That was Funky Town.
One, yeah, no, I know that was Funky Town, but I don't know what you were doing at the time.
Yeah, no, I don't think I was going to Funky Town.
Talk about your band while I grab, because I do have a 7-minute video of you, and it's got to be that.
No,
so I'm going to try to grab a bit of that.
No. Let me give you a link to something else.
Yeah.
Let me give you a link to
Electrocar or mass rejection.
Yeah, it could be mass rejection. Let me have a look.
Variety makes the world go round, indeed. Fuck, can't stand the musicals. Dave, we were just talking about
Dave.
you, brother.
We were, mate.
Oh,
How
hang
are
on.
you? We need
Hang
more
on.
amazing tales.
Maybe don't play that just yet. Let me just have a look. Let me just have a quick look. I'm going to bring up the that. There we go. That latest link. There you go.
Mad Spidey, always good to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
Have a little click on that.
Hang on a second. Let's take a look here.
It's a little loud, so.
You're so parody of your fucking self. What I despise, you should do it now. We will charity. Watch you fade as the end draws near. You're so fake. You're so you're so trying to fit in where you don't belong. In the scene, you're a fucking clown.
Okay. Hang on.
Hey, that's really good.
Hell, Pete?
That was awesome, Pete.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
No wonder you look like a natural at karaoke. You used to getting up on bloody stage and singing. How good's that? That was great,
That was
mate.
so catchy. That was so catchy too.
Thank you. That's what I was up to in that kind of 20-year gap. Just to let you know.
Holy crap. So what happened to that? You're not doing that anymore?
No, COVID hit, and that's when I decided to relaunch the comic book.
Holy crap, mate. All right, I'm adding this one.
You never know. One day I could get back to it. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, you got to, man. I really dug that. That was cool.
Thanks.
What's your embarrassing sort of music taste or song that you wouldn't admit to people, but you will now live on TV?
Oh, I'll admit to anything. To a point. Well, Bros. I really liked Bros. Do you remember them?
Yeah. We were just talking about
mentioned Bros recently.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the drummer from Bros is the character Jarrett Nomak in Blade 2.
Blade 2, yeah.
Yeah, but the vampire, his face opens up like that. Yeah, it's a drummer from Bros.
I actually met Matt Goss in Las Vegas. So I actually got to meet the guy that I liked as a kid, give him a hug. He was a really nice guy. So that was cool.
All right. We've got it loading now. Because I feel like it's a bit redundant now showing this after that, because that was so much better. But
well,
come
maybe you
on.
shouldn't play it then.
No, of course we do. It's taken me way too much work to get it up here. It's still loading. Come on, hurry up. In the meantime, I guess we can have a bit of let's see what else we got here. Did you know Sharif buys weird shit?
God, you buy some weird shit sometimes, I swear.
I was just thinking the same thing.
And Steve likes to talk about Monsterwood Omnibus all become one hardcover.
I've got one of those right now.
Oh my god.
An omnibus?
Oh, Monsterwood, you fucking
That's why I can't stand up for the next 10 minutes.
oh. You can see shenanigans like that every Wednesday at Aussieverse's FOC show. Old Shaggy Mac, old Bros matey, had to go get his stomach pumped after he fell unconscious during a live show. Wow.
There you go.
Mm.
Naughty Matt Goss.
Sharif hurt me. I thought that was a pizza.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ladies. Hey, little sister, what have you done? Hey, little sister, who's the only one? What? Hey, little sister, who's your Superman? Hey, little sister, who's the one you want? Hey, little sister, shotgun. Oh, it's a nice day to start again.
I can tell you that the whole room was lit up with that song, and everybody was like,
And people were joining in.
it was so good.
It was.
I actually did play that live.
Oh, no. Can we not?
Oh, Steve,
No,
Steve, don't
please.
worry. I've deleted it. I've deleted that. I would
sweet
never,
Christmas.
ever embarrass you like that again. Don't worry.
Bullshit. You've still got
Don't
it.
worry.
It's blackmail.
No,
He's blackmail folder.
don't be silly. God, what do you
Delete,
think? This
delete.
is some kind of weird show? It's nothing, you know. People can just imagine what it looks like, you know.
Oh,
It's fine.
I'm not
Well,
listening.
thank you very much, Bo, for saving that footage and showing everyone. That's amazing.
Hey, dude, it was a great time and I loved it. I can't wait to do it again. Everybody really surprised me. I'm talking Sharif got up and sang, which I didn't think would happen. You got up and just killed it. Spedsy got up and freaking like, what was it? It was Faith No More, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was epic. You got it all, but God, man.
Yep.
We're all good, mate. We're all good. I like it.
I have had a go at the gentle art of making enemies before live.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
It was difficult, but it was fun.
Oh, I love.
Oh,
Joe
that'd be
Coach.
good. Shaggy Mac, that'd be awesome.
All right, so you're into your rock, you're into your comics, you're into your He-Man, you're into that hat because I never see you without it. Is there anything else?
I'd take it off, but I've got hat hair at the moment.
Oh, hang on, I'll do it instead.
Well, I used to be into horror films a bit when I was younger.
Oh yeah,
Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th,
Leprechaun.
whole bunch. Oh yeah,
Leprechaun. Wow.
Leprechaun 4 in space. That was amazing. Leprechaun in the hood. Leprechaun into the hood. I think that was the sequel. Was it? So yeah,
Oh, God,
I did watch a few
believe
horror
they
films.
I can't believe they made like 5 or 6 Leprechaun movies.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was
Steve is a
getting a bit
legend.
like-
Let's take a moment to appreciate that fact.
Much respect, my friend. Thank you.
Getting a bit like Police Academy with the Leprechaun movies.
Yeah.
Remember how
I'm
many
surprised they
they
haven't remade a Police Academy, to be honest. They're doing a Naked Gun.
Yeah. The Naked Gun looks all right.
Yeah.
Oh, the preview looks
Yeah.
all right. But the funny thing,
Quite
I think we talked about this in a previous episode, is that during the fires in California, the reporter actually interviewed Steve Guttenberg about how his house was in danger and all that sort of stuff. The reporter had no idea who he was. No idea. What's your name,
Oh,
sir?
poor-
Steve Guttenberg. And have you lived here for long? So I'm like, hey, you're the guy from Police Academy. It's like, how long have you lived here, sir?
All right. Is there anything else you want to chat about? Because I'm cool to keep this going, or we can end it. What do you want, Pete? Show's yours.
Yeah, no,
brother.
let's keep it going. That's cool. I've got a show coming up, local comic creator day. Offhand, I think it's May 3rd. Let me just check that. at Alternate Worlds.
Oh, cool.
Let me just have a quick look.
It's around the corner from my
I
house.
can actually send you a poster of it if you like.
Yeah, you must be close to Steve.
Well, yeah, I'm in Ringwood North area.
Yeah.
Let
I
me
mean,
just send you
on
something via Facebook, Bo. There we go. Send.
3rd of May.
All right, let's see. What have you sent me?
That's
That's the-
Saturday, 3rd of May, yeah?
It is. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
first Saturday in May, May 3rd. Yeah, that's it. And there'll be lots of other talented local creators at that.
Hey, little sister. Do, do, do. Oh, that was the wrong one to upload. Hang on.
Don't show that one again. We'll get demonetized.
Local Comic Creator Day. Okay.
Yeah. It's an annual event from Alternate Worlds in Bayswater.
Why have I not heard of this? I bought from Alternate Worlds for years, a long time ago now, but they were my go-to for ages.
Yeah. There it is.
Local Comic Creator Day, Saturday, May the 3rd, 11 till 4 at Alternate Worlds. And then you got the free... Oh, yeah, so you got that. And okay, sweet. Sweet. I wasn't sure if they were doing a free comic book day this year with all the issues with tariffs and whatnot.
Yeah. I've heard one or two titles have been cancelled, but I think there's still quite a few. I was talking with Joe about it the other day. But yeah, I'll have all of these for sale at the event.
Cool.
So
awesome.
I may as well just pull them up individually.
Well, Steve,
Well
if
done.
you end up going to that, because I know it's near you, let me know and I'll grab the Skye's books that I'm missing.
Yeah, no dramas. I'll pick them up for you. Easy.
That's the Spell Kitty one. Whoop. Spedsy cover one. Reprint of issue 3. Reprint of issue 2. It's just come out as well. Also, we've got plenty of issue 1. Because that's the
Do you
biggest
have any
seller.
of the foil ones left?
I do. I do have some foils left. Not of the original version that you've got, but I did do a second printing with the new logo of the foil for issue 1 and issue 4. So I'll have those as well.
Sweet.
I can actually show you what they look like if you like. Give me a sec.
Yeah, man, for
Ooh.
sure.
Yeah.
Issue 1 foil for me, Steve.
All right. Send me a list of what you want. I'll pick them up. Easy. So I won't remember.
Yeah, we expect you to remember, Steve.
I'll show you
No.
how lovely they look.
Looks better with the color in the title. Just saying. Hang on.
So that's issue 4 as a foil, if you can see how lovely
Yep.
that is.
That's a cool cover.
Lovely. And then you've got issue 1, which is the new printing as a foil.
Yep.
And they're both extremely limited. Just like the one that you got was, though.
What have
And
you
when I
got
say extremely limited, I mean, yeah, very, 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 very.
What is it that you've got them in? Is that some sort of comic keeper thing?
Yeah, it's one of those top loaders.
Right. Yeah. That's
Oh, yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah.
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 But yeah, I'm running very low stock of those. But so if you want them, you want to be quick.
Sweet, man. People better buy that before the game gets made.
Yeah. Yeah, because it'll just go up in value.
Dream big,
And
mate.
the animated
Dream big.
movie series.
Yeah. Or whatever it's going to be.
Played by
Starring
Idris
Idris.
Elba.
Yeah.
Bit of strange. Foil me. They look good. There you go. We're selling
thank
books
you.
already. JSS. Let's get the international sales going. Don't know how much of you, if you've just joining us in with us now, JSS, but we are with Australian comic book creator Peter Lane for Skye's Cavern Library. Look at the shiny goodness of these comic book series. Okay, you didn't all have to copy me, all right? I want it to be... you know what? I'm surprised you haven't done some sort of like homage, maybe not homage, but like copy of like a He-Man character as well, or going into a He-Man sort of world.
Wow. Oh, thanks.
Because I know that if I was a comic book character creator, my characters would be going into a damn sewer and meeting some, let's just say 4 talking, let's say lizards.
Green. Yeah.
Let's call them karate terrapins.
Bandana wearing.
Kung fu young adult lizard people.
Do you remember back in the day do you remember back in the day, I think it was like the mid-90s, where Eastman and Laird would just let anyone use the Turtles in their indie comics? Like they'd guest star and a whole lot of stuff back in the day.
Oh, right. No,
but
actually,
now that they're owned by...
Yeah, it's funny. I'm only going back now to the really old Ninja Turtle comics because I never read them. And they've been releasing them in hardcovers and compendiums. And I've been going back and checking all that stuff out because the only ones that I know are the IDWs.
Okay.
All right, way to show off, Sharif.
Yeah. Good work, Sharif.
Usagi Yojimbo. Nice.
Grim Jack.
Yeah. They appeared
Grim Jack?
in a lot of like Flaming Carrot as well. They appeared in, if you've ever heard of that comic.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's very obscure.
Oh, okay.
But that's the kind of
Aikido
stuff.
ponytail wearing bullshido. Not bad. Okay, I like that. I like it as well. All right, so you seem to be doing this every year. This Bayswater Local Comic Creator Day. Who else can people see there?
This year, who have they got this year? Let's have a look. I think, Rob Lyle appears a lot there. He won't be there this year. That's someone who won't be there. I know Antoinette Ryder will be there.
Yep.
Who else? Let's have a look. Does it say it on the actual poster? No, it doesn't. All right. Let me just quickly look.
The Mac Brothers. Wonder if they're going to be there again this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'll just have a quick look. See if I can find out what I can find out.
Sharif, say something.
Something.
Just while I'm having a look.
Bang.
You're still with us.
I know where to go. I know exactly where to go. Let's have a look.
I went down last year and had a look. It was a good turnout. A lot of good artists. Yeah, and quite a few people actually going through at the time I was there as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
definitely. It's probably a good idea, Steve.
It's a lot of fun.
It's probably a good idea, Steve, if you just came and picked me up and took me there. I reckon.
Stop telling me what to do.
Just a suggestion.
No.
So, let's have a look. I think I've found.
Catch a train, man. It's like a 3-minute walk from the station.
What is this word you speak of?
Aha, I found it. All right. So we've got Steve Carter of Skye. We've got Dave Dye, who I should have remembered because he's got that story in issue 3 of Skye's Cavern Library. Yep. So you can get that signed by him there as well. You've got Kay Gray. You've got George Hall. Oops, sorry. You've got John Lowry, who's a very cool guy. He does Shine of the Moon, which is kind of this fantasy epic story, which is very nice. You've got the aforementioned Antoinette Ryder with Scar Studios.
I don't
David
know this
Schembri.
name.
Who's that, sorry?
I don't know this name. Antoinette.
Oh, okay. Antoinette Ryder.
Yeah.
She's been around quite a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's have a look here. Sabina Wills and more to come. There you go. And myself.
And what happens there? Do people go and just meet the creators and buy books? Like what is it that's generally expected?
Yeah, you can come there, meet the creators, like you say, buy the books. There's generally a pretty good turnout. There's also, it's kind of a co-day with Free Comic Book Day as well. So you can pick up your free comics that are available, and there's still plenty of free comics that they release, even though previews has kind of gone or on the brink of bankruptcy. But yeah, there's still a lot of those. They generally hold it at the back of the store. So you pick up your free comics at the front, and then you mosey on through to the back, and you'll see all these kind of stalls there from different local artists, the aforementioned ones, and they'll have all their wares on their tables. And you'll be able to chat with them, pick up comics, get them signed. It's a fun day.
How have the interactions? How have the interactions with fans been for the past few years?
Yeah, really good. Shows are my favorite thing out of everything, because I get to chat with lots of interesting people and get to ask them what they thought of the last issue they bought, and all the I love the interaction. It's great.
Yeah.
And I do get a lot of returning customers, which is a good sign.
That's awesome.
For the book. Yeah. So they've read previous issues and decide they want to continue, and that's the best thing ever for me, really. You know what I mean? Like if they pick up an issue and decide they want to continue with it, that's great. Fantastic.
Definitely. If you're in Melbourne that day, guys, you want to come out and have a look, it's definitely worth making the trip out. It's not that far. Well, not for me anyway. It's around the corner. Although literally. But definitely pop out and meet some great local artists. Would be around the corner from you too, Bo, if you didn't move that far away. But really good local artists, great content. What?
Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Yes, you are. I was being serious. I'm trying to promote Pete in this great little gathering of great artists. So shut up. Let me finish. Also, love you. So come along. Saturday, May the 3rd. 11 till 4, Alternate Worlds, Bayswater. Come and check it out. As Pete said, grab your free comic and make sure, have a chat with the artist, but please buy some of their stuff as well, because there's some really, really good things available.
Yeah, it's great stuff out there. Thanks for that, man.
Pleasure, mate. I look forward to seeing you again in person.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Two of my favourite words in it.
Hey,
Nudie.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned, Steve, about that one time that I met you. Was it in Big W or Kmart? And I actually picked up what did I pick up? I can't remember. It was like a candle or something I was looking at.
No, it was Christmas time last year. It was a Christmas globe, and I saw Pete. I'm like, I wonder if that's Pete. Next thing I
was so shocked that I saw you there. I dropped it on the ground, and the entire store just froze.
They all stopped and looked, and I yelled out, "Good one, Peter!"
I'm like, "Hey, Steve."
You poor bugger. I'm sorry.
Oh, gee, Shaggy Mac, what have you got against Peter?
That escalated quickly.
As things always do.
All
right. Well, you're always a fun time, Pete, just like today has shown. Why has it taken you so long to come onto Aussieverse? What have we done to you?
Oh, I just get so enthused by watching your show, and I just like to watch it as an audience member. And yeah.
Okay, that was a good answer.
I thought that. I like that.
That could have gone anywhere. I appreciate that. Oh, I just never really wanted to come on before because I never liked it, but now I just want to promote Skye Cavern Library. So,
Well,
You know what, mate?
nice.
It would have even been more awkward if he had said, "Look, I only really like 2 out of the 3 of you," and just left it at that. It would be like at the end of the show going, "I wonder who he's talking about. It couldn't be me and Sharif."
Who are you guys again?
Aussieverse.
well, this has been a great time, Pete. I am really, really great. Really
Thanks,
humbled that you
You are
decided
great.
to come on here, man. Fuck off. This has been great. I'm glad that we got to know you a little bit more. People out there in the world, primarily Australia, but I'm sure we can get them sold around the world too. Go Google Peter Lane at Skye's Cavern Library. This is a fantastic anthology book that does have an overall story that does go through it as well, but it has fantastic artwork that does change. So if you do want to see what Australian artists there are out there, this is a great book to be able to check out many different types of Australian artists. It has great writing, great covers, a future that looks oh so bright from the mind of Peter Lane. He has been a fantastic guest on Aussieverse, and we now need to ask him the most important question of the night, and that is, Peter, if we said to you, good sir, what is Aussieverse? What would your answer be?
Aussieverse for life, baby.
Okay. You just proved you've watched us. Thank you very much. This has been Aussieverse. We will be back live tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. with Sukesha Ray, DC cover comic book artist, Vampirilla cover book artist, Spotify, Sony signed singer and extraordinaire. We will also see you back for next Wednesday's FOC show. And until then, say hello to your mothers because they're very important. We'll catch you next time. This is Aussieverse. Bye. Shut up.